Well, good morning everyone and welcome to today's video. I have a lot of things that I want to discuss with all of you, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about what I am not buying in the year 2026. I find these fascinating when I get to hear what other people are deciding what they're not going to buy, and this is the list that I have come up with. And then I have something that I want to work on, which I thought you might enjoy. We're just going to be all over the place in today's video. So let's get started in what I am not buying in 2026. I did write a note because I like writing my notes down. It keeps my focus on the subject at hand. Now, we are in 2026. So what am I not buying? The number one thing is not clothing, but I have a little footnote with this. I received something for my birthday and I got to do a small little shopping haul. I will not be buying no clothes, no trending clothing. I am not replacing any clothing, even if they're worn out. I got plenty of clothing to wear and I'm going to wear them out. I'm going to mend things too. So if we have a hole in the sock, I'm going to mend that socks instead of throwing them out and getting new. I'm using what I already have. I have lots of different kinds of clothing and it's time that I start wearing them. My closets are full of different things and it's time either I wear them or I donate them. Okay, prepackaged foods, convenience foods. This is another big one. I am not going to be having as much. Now, I'm not going to make these blank statements and say, I am not ever going to do this year. What I'm doing is I'm making it more reasonable and being more honest. And what I'm saying is I'm cutting back on those kind of things. It doesn't mean I won't ever have a frozen pizza, but I'm cutting back on convenience foods. And we're just going to go with the bare bones of the food. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that after I'm done with this. We're going to be cutting back on snacks, single serve items, boxed meals. We're going to choose simple homemade meals, and we have been starting that when we were in December, but we're just going to really focus on these type of meals, just simple meals. So I'm going to show you the meals in my videos, but they're not gourmet, and they're not going to be some fantastic recipe. It's just simple meals because my goal now is to not spend and to use up what I got. I'm going to buy simple ingredients, not marketing gimmicks. So if there's something new out there, like something really new and, a trend in the food industry, I'm not going to go out and buy it. I'm buying simple ingredients or learn to make it myself. As you just recently seen, I showed you how to make butter with 99-cent cream. No seasonal decor. Now, this is something I don't generally do, but seasonal decor, I am not going to Dollar Tree and buying a bunch of knickknacks, seasonal decor. I will be celebrating some of the seasons, but it's going to be all natural. In fact, with the Dollar Tree, you may see very little Dollar Tree hauls. Now, with that being said, there are certain things that I can use that are more essentials that I may get at the Dollar Tree, but you're not going to see that kind of stuff. Garden seeds, I am not buying the latest, newest garden seeds either. I'm going to use what I have. Magazines, I'm not buying magazines either. I'm not having any subscriptions. I'm not subscribed to YouTube Premium. I don't have any subscription to Patreon. Back a year ago, all these channels wanted Patreon. I did subscribe to a few of them, but I totally got rid of those subscriptions. I am not doing that. I'm not subscribing to any kind of paid platform. No cleaning supplies. So I'm using up cleaning supplies that I already have and I'm going to be making my own. I don't need a bunch of cleaning supplies. Stickers and journals. I love stickers. I love stickers and journals and pens and paper, and I love all of that stuff. I'm not buying any of that this year. I got enough of stickers to last me a while and a whole year. So I am not buying any stickers, any journaling, and we're cutting back on a lot of things. I am focusing on a peaceful, uncluttered home and using what I got or doing without. And so later on this video, I'm going to show you something I'm really guilty of doing, and it was awful. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So I'm not subscribing to anything. Amazon Prime, I will probably be eliminating that. I had got rid of it a couple times or paused it, and I'm not buying on Amazon unless, here is something I learned. Amazon's fresh food is cheaper than Weis Markets, cheaper than Giant, cheaper than my Walmart, and it's also cheaper than my discount grocery store. I will be doing some hauls using Amazon's fresh food. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now that's my area, and I happen to have the warehouse just across the street. So maybe that's why, I don't know, but it is really super duper cheap for me. I'm not buying items that I already own. No impulse purchases at all, none. I'm going to wait 24 to 72 hours. If it's something I think that we need, I'm going to wait and see before I make any purchases. Now, we generally don't do that so much. I want to explain to you behind every decision that I do. I'm also going to be limiting my makeup. Now, Kim, a viewer on here, sent me supplies of lipstick. So you'll be seeing some upcoming cluttering videos. You're going to see this nice tin of makeup. She gives me the lipstick. And I also, for Christmas, had a viewer send me some makeup, which is such a blessing. But I'm not going to be going and buying a bunch of makeup, a bunch of things like that. I'm not buying any accessories. Do you get the hint? It's not buying. And so a lot of my videos are like this. Now, take a deep breath, Tessie. Because I am, for now, going to allow myself $10 a month on books. Now, wait a minute. I probably will lower that, but I want to be totally honest with you. I'm not going to come on here and do these, really fanatical exclamations to all of you and tell you I'm going to do this and it not be true. Books are a passion of mine. Books help me learn. Now, I will be using the library. You'll be seeing a lot of that. But I'm going to be honest with you for now, and I'm going to say I'm limiting to $10 a month on my books. With thrift books, that means I can get myself quite a few books for $10. But we'll see. Thrift store, you're just not going to see a whole lot of that, at least not until the summertime. This is time for me to organize, to declutter, to donate, to, do all of that. It makes no sense for me to go spend $20 every week to bring stuff in my home when I'm trying to let go. I'm trying to let go because that is a weakness of mine, having old things and enjoying old things. But there's no sense in it. Make it sense, people. Make it make sense, people. So that's why you're not going to see a whole bunch of that. So those are the things that I am not buying. Garden seeds was a big one, and not buying magazines, cleaning supplies, journaling, stickers, knick-knack, trinkets, house decor, and just really focusing on not as much food and that kind of thing. All right, so now we're in the kitchen, and one of the things that I am really working on is this. This whole year, or my whole life, basically, I would buy things on sale, like ground beef, and I would stock up on that. But then I would just keep it in the freezer, and it would linger in there and linger in there, and I wouldn't use it. Then I would buy new and keep buying new and new and new. And it's at the point where now I'm going into my freezers and I am working on all of the food that I have. It gets pushed down further and further. So what I'm doing is I'm taking all this ground beef and I'm going to go ahead and saute it. I had a container of some tomatoes that were like this, and the container was open. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead, thaw all this meat out like this, and then I'm going to saute it and use it for spaghetti sauce. Thaw that out and then use that up. So in the past, you know, I would get more food and I know what to do with it, and I would just throw it in the freezer because it was a good deal, and then I end up having these freezers full of all of this different food. This year, if I see a good sale, I'm only getting 1 or 2 of them. I don't need to buy a whole carload of things. I'm gonna thaw this out and then I'm gonna saute this.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end. You've been a good friend.
Hey, just wait a minute. Don't leave this channel yet. I know I produce a lot of videos for all of you, and I know you haven't seen all of them. Take a look in the description box below. There is where we have tonight's video, and there's where we're going to have tomorrow's video and the day before. Take a look. Every single day of the week, we got a video just for you.